Hey YouTube, Marcus here. This is day 3. I just thought I would record a few minutes here. We're getting ready to go up and look at the site today. I was not personally on site today because I had already called off 2 evenings at work, and even though I still had, I've still got plenty of days left, I didn't want to inconvenience anybody anymore, and I still wanted some of my days left in case I do actually get sick and have to take them later in the year. But my wife went up there. She's at work right now, partly because I was not 100% certain who all would be up there. But apparently, in my absence, both the crew that connects the house together and seals it and blocks it up, levels it, they showed up. Then while they were there, the guy who's doing the septic system showed up with the tank and did some leveling on part of the yard that's kind of low, where the septic tank is going to go. So I'm going to go up there and check that out. You may notice the frame rate in this part of the video might be a little bit lower because I'm recording this on my cell phone because my mom still has my camera. So we're going to get rolling. I'm going to go put some gas in the truck, and I may do that a little bit later. But we'll go up here and check the place out, and hopefully it won't be too dark. And I will go through the footage that my wife recorded on the Sony Handycam and see what all we can pull out of there to see how. I put my neighbor's blocks back. I forgot to scoot them back out last night, so keep people from parking in his grass.
Alright, so we're going to start with the footage that my wife recorded first. There's a few clips that I recorded later in the day, but we'll go ahead and go in chronological order and start with the video footage that she shot while I was not there on site. You can see in this first clip that they've already got the plastic down on the ground under the house. They've started blocking it up, and they're working on leveling the two halves of the house before bringing them together.
There's still a sizable gap where they level up the back half first, and then they'll move on to the front half. Here, I'll show you guys. You can see where they started leveling one side of the driveway best, I think. We're to put up some big curtains though. That's a lot of sunlight first thing in the morning. Anyways, if you look at the roof, see, they were sitting nice and, well, kind of level last night, so couldn't shut the front door. But you can see how they're leveling the back half, and then they'll do the front half. We'll come up and update later. There we go. That's the living room and kitchen. Of course, you can't see in the bedrooms. You can see a little bit in the utility room. That's all stuff where they got to put it together and put the vinyl siding on the edges. New development, they're coming up here and they're going to get some fill dirt off this hill and fill in. There's a low spot right here where they're going to put the septic, and they're wanting to fill it in so when the septic goes in, it won't hold water. So they're clearing a spot to get some dirt. They did take down a maple tree I wanted to keep, but I'm not sure it was alive anyways. I was just hoping in the spring it'd look better after we cleared out some of the rubble around it. But that's okay, because Marcus wanted to make sure we had this dam here, because there's a lot of water that comes off this. Let me come over here so you're not seeing the ugly old storage trailer we got to get rid of and move. But anyways, there's a lot of water that comes down this hill sometimes, and he wanted to leave that as a barrier for the yard, so they're going on the other side and getting fill dirt, filling a hole over here. So that's good stuff for them. If they flatten this out enough here, I can expand my driveway up that way a bit and have a nice spot for multiple cars to park. And over here, we're still balancing the house. The back side's balanced, and they are evening up the front now, and you can see all the way through it. Looks good. I got a key. We'll go in there later, but right now I'm going to find some stones or something to keep people from stepping on the carpet, because I guarantee that carpet will be nasty if we don't. It's cream all the way throughout the house. The guy under there, he's connecting the two halves. Isn't that cool? There you go. Let's see if we can get it down here. There's the bottle jacks they're using. You can see the guy's shoes. He took He took them off before he went in. So polite. Yeah, I'm trying to stay out of their way, so I'm not only wanting to cross the driveway. But, yeah. They'll take the tongues off when they're done. So that won't be there. And then, as you can see, they're putting her together here. And at the same time, this guy's still going to town on the hill. I have a flat enough spot up there we could park the cars all the way across to about here. That'd be a nice little driveway, parking area. And we'll see when he's done. Anyways, they're getting to work. Plastic off the roof and set it up and fuse the two pieces together. And then she'll be good to go. They're going to underpin it after we get the septic and the water lines run under it and the electric all run. They underpin it last, that way you're not going in and out of the underpinning and can tear it up. So yeah, you'll have to excuse the noise. He has got the squeakiest trash. Yeah. You see this cool ladder they got? They got these ladders, by the way. Every one of them that's come up here has them. They can be benches, they can be folded in half an A-frame, or stretched out tall to reach the roof. That's a really neat ladder. Not to get two people's faces in here. Yeah. No, it's my screen door is solid glass. I'm not sure about that. It just seems really dangerous. Oh yeah, he's got a little bulldozer on the front of this, by the way. He's just pushing that dirt around. That's amazing. And he did make a pretty good little hole there. Scoot it out with it. There you go. That's what they're doing. They're taking off the top, and they're cleaning up the bottom, and taking off the plastic on the top, cleaning up the bottom, and filling in a low spot.
There we go, zoom out. All right, I saw the guy who's doing the septic system was still up there, even though it's after 5 o'clock. He's up there with his little Kubota machine doing some digging and stuff and leveling out the front yard. So I'm gonna go up here and see what's going on. Mom and Dad have the kids at the moment, so I'm gonna go up here and see what it looks like and how things are going, and maybe take a few pictures of it. So, get you all so basically, this guy is leveling the yard here so that, well, he's giving it a specific slope in a specific direction so that runoff goes toward the road and not under the house, and doesn't build up and puddle up in the yard and cause drainage issues for the septic system. The septic tank is sitting up here, but the leaching chambers are not yet here. So I've got the kids, like I said, down the holler at Mom and Dad's. I'm gonna walk up here and let me grab a light here. Well, I had one. Where'd I lay it? Oh, there it is. I'm gonna walk up here. I've got the temporary key and check out the inside, see what it looks like. There's no power to it yet because I still have to set the pole and mount my box and run wire, and then have that inspected, then call the power company, and they'll come up and do their little bit with the running the wire and stuff to that pole over there. I don't know if I'm pointing at it or not, but there's a pole right there with a transformer on it, and so we'll get, after all of my stuff is squared away, the power company comes up and does that. Now in here is an old storage building we just pile things into for right now. But there's the weather vane and the box that my electricity is going to run to, the grounding rods, the mounting some hardware. So once the pole is set, I mount this to my pole, and then the wire that goes into the breaker box in the house will come out of this, and then that is where the power company will connect their cables. So let me switch this to this little lantern bar mode here. Let me look in the hardware bag here because I didn't remember what all was in here. I need, let me see, there's 2 round brackets. There's the clamps for the grounding rods. Some wood screws so I can flatten those out, I guess, and screw them to, yeah, okay, this gets screwed to the pole, and then this wraps around that. Okay, so there's the screws for that, and so yeah, we got the hardware we need. So all right, there's the sewage drain line. that goes from the house into the septic system. The septic system will be out here in the front yard, buried under the ground. It will consist of, I'll show you the tank, I've got a picture of it, but it will consist of that tank and 150 feet of leaching chambers, which are smaller plastic chambers that kind of filter out into the soil. So there's the back half of the house, and they have not put siding on the front yet. There's the overhangs there, and the plastic that was on the roof and stuff. And in the middle, we're gonna keep that and use it to cover one of our old storage buildings. There's some shingles they had, because they had to put shingles across the center. As there's a piece of siding missing, they'll fix that whenever they finish this up, I guess tomorrow. But it's together in the middle. From what I understand, it's been sealed. They just need to finish taking this stuff off and doing siding and all that. Alrighty, like I said, it's getting dark. My wife may have already recorded some of this footage, but house is level because the door closes properly. So they've got the house leveled. They still got to do some work inside here, so, which that was kind of obvious from the fact that the siding and stuff was, some of the siding was still missing. But there's the carpeting they're working on. The carpeting will end here, and you see there's a big foam gasket in between the two halves there that seals it from air coming in the bottom. And I guess there's another big foam gasket in the roof there, in addition to the shingles that cover the gap, that cover the mating surface on the roof, so that that stops water from coming in the first place. And then they've got to come back and touch up all the touch up this gap, so that when it's all said and done, none of this will be visible. You'll never be able to tell that it was two pieces. But they do have them together and sealed, and the shingles on, so that it's you can get in here and walk around and not worry about rain seeping in and damaging it. There's the kitchen / living room area is all one big room here. And we've got our central heating and air, our utility area for the washer and dryer. Now the washer and dryer we provide. We've already got that, but it comes with the central heat and air conditioning. I don't know what in the world that would be. That looks to be something to do with, no, that's electrical, something electrical. So I'm going to leave it alone until they're done. Maybe something to do with the central heat and air. Electric crossover. So I'm not going to touch that. And this would be, I'm going to guess, shingles, maybe? Not sure. And this is going to be one of the kids' rooms, one of the kids' bedrooms. And this child's closet. Let me see here. So, just a little small walk-in closet for this kid. And here is the guest bathroom, I believe. Yeah, this is the smaller guest bathroom. And let me see here. Oh, they actually sealed between the tub and the wall. See, the 14 by 70 we're in now, it's 20 years old. There was no sealant between the tub and the wall, so this plastic was just kind of sat here. And I sealed it myself when we bought the place, but I would be curious to see the condition of the wood behind the tub in our house, because it was 20 years old by the time I got to sealing it. And you know, when you take a shower, even with the vent fan on, the walls are going to sweat and that moisture is going to run down in behind there. So, but this one's already sealed. Just making sure everything looks okay. And here's the other kid's bedroom. It looks like they're going to get part of a dresser, maybe. Well, I think they still owe us some furniture. It comes with some basic furniture, a couch and things like that. This kid's walk-in closet. And then, let's go across over here. Oh, stepped on a staple. This is the master bedroom. It's a little bit smaller than the one we've got now, but the total square footage for the house as a whole is about 50% larger than the one we're in now, and we've got the additional bedroom for the kids. Here's our master bathroom slash walk-in closet. So see, there's the toilet and everything there, and then you walk on back behind here, and here's our closet where we can put towels or whatever for the bathroom. So but obviously still some touch-up work to do. The smoke detectors are covered, but progress, it is together. There's the fridge, the dishwasher, the cook stove. So yeah, well, that's part of the cost as well. You know, obviously they're gonna get their money back for that, but the house is here. It's set up, it's sealed against water, and now we're just, you know, touch up, finishing work. So my wife hopefully got some better footage of the house while she was here with the camera and I was at work. So I haven't seen the footage on this camera yet, so I'll have to pour through it. But I'm gonna get my boots back on and head back out of here. It's dark outside. The guy who was leveling the yard is leaving, so I know it's hard to see. I'll come back up here tomorrow probably in the daylight because I'm off work till after the 1st now. But basically this guy, he left his machine, so he still has more work to do. But essentially he's leveling the yard and building it up, because right here was a particularly low spot, and right about here, this general area is going to be where the septic system sits. And they wanted it built up enough so that water would not pool here on top of it, because that'll also cause the septic system to fill up really with just water and back up onto the surface. So they're building up the ground here to shed water in other directions so that it does not sit and pool up on top of where part of our septic system is going to go. There's the electric pole. I'm going to call tomorrow and see about what I need to see, if I can get somebody to come up here and help me get this pole set. Now the hardest part really is not going to be setting the pole. The wire that goes from that box I showed you in the storage building into the house's breaker box has to be buried. You can't just strap it to the bottom of the house with wire loom and call it a day. It has to be buried. It has to be buried at least 18 inches. So, and the pole is going to be in front of the house, because the power company will not run a wire over top of the house, because if the wire breaks and falls on your house, it'll burn it down, and they'd be liable for that. But I might be able to set it on this corner, because I don't want to go messing with that plastic. So what I might be able to do is set it on this corner and dig the ditch along the side of the house here, because the connection for it is, let me see, there's fresh water, electrical, where the heck is the electrical? I saw it the other day, right there. Is where the electricity wire needs to run into, so I can set the pole over there, dig the ditch around the edge of the house and around the back of the house, and not have to go under the house, because even if the plastic wasn't there, digging an 18-inch ditch under the house is going to be a pain in the butt. And I thought about digging it beforehand, but I knew that they were going to be moving the house around, lifting it up and down, and I didn't want them to have to try and drive over that ditch and not cave it in. I didn't want to do work and then have to redo part of it later, so I figure I'll just run the ditch around the back edge of the house. I'll end up spending a little bit more money on wire that way compared to if I did it diagonally, but, and I may even, if the distance is short enough, which I believe it would be, and they still have a straight line right to there, I may be able to just set the pole right here on the back corner of the house. That'll partially conceal it. The wire will not be over the roof, and that will really shorten the amount of wire that I'll have to run to get into the house here. So I'll call the power company and see what they say about that. And I'm also curious as to whether or not there are any rules regarding how close or far apart my incoming water and power line has to be. So all questions I need to look into tomorrow. But I've got the rest of this Christmas break off until the 1st. There's our drain line, like I said. And so hopefully, maybe by the 1st of the year, or very shortly thereafter, will be moved in here. So this is the septic tank. This is going to be the largest single portion of our septic system because there's no municipal sewer up here. So you have to have a septic system in place. And the reason there's laws about you have to have this in before they hook up electricity is because back in the olden days, people were bad to just run a line out to the creek and then get power hooked up and run their own fecal matter and urine out into the creek, which when kids play in the creek and there's fish and stuff in the creek is not particularly healthy. But it's a steel tank, 1,000 gallons. Should last us 20 years or so before we have to have it replaced. The leaching chambers are the most expensive part, and they are going to be plastic so they won't rust out. And this is coated on the inside with something, but about 20 years, about what you'll get out of it. And if you don't drive over top of it, it'll last a lifetime. But there's the septic tank. The leaching chambers, I guess, will be up here tomorrow sometime. But I've got, like I said, it's dark, but I'm going to pour through the rest of the footage my wife did and see what she's got on there. And I apologize for not having more quality footage of what went on today, because I was not aware that we were going to have the guys doing the trailer and the septic system and all this stuff going on today. And I'd already called off 2 days of work, so I went ahead and went into work. But anyway, if y'all have any comments, questions, concerns, or suggestions, or if there's anything in particular you would like to see in the daylight hours, please feel free to post a comment below and let me know. And as always, this is Marcus out. Y'all have a good one. Oh, focus. There we go. Come on. There we go. I know this video was supposed to be over for the day, but I thought I would go ahead and add this to it because my wife is at work, I've got the kids, and I took them out for some ice cream at Dairy Queen. And on the way home, one of our neighbors here at this spot where we're living at right now has a little pine tree in his yard with a chain link fence, and there were some deer behind the tree in his fenced-in yard that I did not see. And right when I was next to his yard, one of those deer jumped out from behind the tree, jumped over the fence just to run out in front of my truck, and me doing about 35 or 40 miles per hour. But thanks to a good old steel bumper and a steel hood here, the only thing it did was it broke all this plastic stuff here. It didn't, I don't think, it even hurt the air conditioner condenser here. You can pull this crap out of here. You can see this stuff is just plastic. But here's the air conditioner condenser right here. And you can see it didn't even bend the fins over on the air conditioner condenser. None of this was hurt. You can see this is still here. It cracked it a little bit. There's some deer hair sticking out of it. And I've had this, you know, none of these pipes look kinked. I put a little mat under it. I don't see any fluids dripping. There's a drop of water right over there, but that's just water from the road. But what I was concerned really with was whether or not I would have antifreeze pouring out if maybe it ruptured the antifreeze line. But it looks like all the important stuff is all right. This was from an impact or before. Somebody else hit a deer on the opposite corner there. Let's pop the hood and take a look here. Oh, well, where'd my little latch go? Oh, it bent my stupid latch. Lord mercy. It did bend that latch. There we go. It bent this, looks like this little thin metal bar here, and bent the release latch for the hood. But, well, what did we drop here? More plastic junk. But all the working components here look fine. There's no moisture on the back of the radiator. Lines don't look kinked. Battery's still where it's supposed to be. So I'll just grab this bar in the morning when it's a little warmer and I can see out, and I'll straighten this bar out. See if I can't grab a hold of the release latch here with a pair of pliers or something, or a hammer, and beat it back into position and pick the rest of this plastic off of here and hit up a junkyard for one of these trucks that's been totaled out and just salvage the components off of that. won't latch it all the way until I get a chance to look at it tomorrow. But that's part of living out in the woods. You got to watch out for the critters.